Taurus 16. Old man, attempting vainly to reveal the mysteries. This is a teacher. The teacher is established, having had a long career of trying to get people to understand how he sees the world, and generally failing to make much impact. And this is partly because what the teacher has been doing is passing on old knowledge in a new way, but nevertheless old knowledge. And some of the knowledge that we study is beyond time, it's eternal. But there are other aspects of knowledge which are very subject to the changing times. This more ephemeral teaching gets old, gets stale. The language that we must use to convey the same meaning must evolve. Language evolves, it changes very quickly nowadays, of course. And the old teacher just simply cannot get the point across, partly because the language that has been used is out of date, partly because people want different messages now, partly because he's old. Now, this teacher is frustrated. He really does know what he knows and he wants to get it across, and it's not working. So he breaks through. There's this breakthrough where he can actually grasp a new style of teaching. So this teacher who wants to get his point across is almost frustrated because he can't find anyone to understand what he's saying. And that frustration is a creative thing. It's like a fiery thing. It's like the force necessary to break through conditioned ideas about what is knowledge, what is truth. This teacher breaks through and just, I must do it, and he does it. He just cracks through and comes up with something new. The times change, usually slowly over the centuries, but more recently, of course, very much in an accelerated form. So we're hopeful that we can find teachers of this caliber, this type, this style, where they say, I don't care what was taught before, this is what I know to be true. That takes a whole different attitude of teaching. You will not become recognized by society or the mainstream. You will not easily find students to listen to you. But what you can expect is that if you throw yourself into this and you find 1, 2, 3 students, then that grows, and they've been waiting for this word. This sense of speaking a truth to make it the case is inherent here. Without this old man teaching new wisdom, the new wisdom cannot arrive. Somebody has to be first to bring it in. A teacher who introduces original thought is very rare. Most teaching is repetition, repackaging, nothing essential. But there comes along occasionally somebody who actually has something to say, something new, timely, and very different from what has been said before, sometimes bizarrely unexpected, sometimes a refuting of what has gone before, even assumptions of profound level, given to us by our religion. The world is divided into different spheres of influence: Christian, Catholic Christian, Islam, Sunni and Shiite Islam, and all of these teachings are presenting a different worldview, a different set of morals, moral codes. They share some, but they don't share it all. And for the most part, there's a cultural bias with the teachings that we have to get free of. If we're free of our cultural conditioning, if we're free of the teachings of these major religions, if we open up our intuition, then we can come up with our own new understandings. And what we do know for sure is that what we have been told is inadequate. The knowledge that we've been given just doesn't explain everything. Even the science that we've had for 100 years is not yet assimilated into our psychology. We talk about cause and effect. Who's to blame? You know, like, you did that. But we do know that there is no cause and effect because of, I mean, there is in the Newtonian kind of constraints, but in a wider sense, Einstein first and then Heisenberg and others have demonstrated that physics doesn't allow that idea. Schrödinger said that we cannot know the cause, which is cause, which is effect. We don't know which is which. They arise simultaneously. And this is something that the world is very, very slow to change their minds about. 100 years later, and we still do not take that into account when we are in our involvements with people. We say, you did that because of this. And everybody assumes that's the case. Nobody questions that. You know, if I, for example, become irritated or angry with a person, I'm the one that's being angry. And yet it may be that that person has passive aggression and there were signals coming to me and they become victim, I become perpetrator simultaneously. Is it my fault? You know, our society says yes, but a new teaching would be no. According to Schrödinger, these two events occurred simultaneously. Your victimhood, your perpetratorhood. So, the old teacher is trying to get across a new point, and the frustration experienced in not having been able to do that very easily for a very long time is actually creative. Without that frustration, the breakthrough to a new understanding will not occur.